All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my review for the premiere episode for Season 5 of Fear the Walking Dead. And spoiler warning, if you guys have not seen this episode yet, you'll want to watch it before you watch this review. And my apologies this week, guys. I haven't made too much in the way of videos because I got really sick, and I'm still sick. My throat, I got strep throat or something of the sort, so I couldn't talk for a couple days there. I got the halls going, so that's good. So we got some, that kind of stuff. So, and I, for today, I was like, oh, should I do a review for Fear? Well, I should watch it anyway. So I decided, okay, I'll watch it and I'll try to do a review for it. So that's this here with you guys. And if my voice gives out, then it is what it is. It gives out. So, I tried to enjoy the episode as much as I could, even though, because I am sick and stuff. And I actually do think it's a really good, first episode for Season 5 of Fear. Here to Help is the name of the episode. And basically, we see things kind of continue on from where they left off at the end of Season 4 of Fear, which is that Morgan's group identity and Alicia's group identity, the Fear group's identity, is basically to go out in the world and to try to help others. So I think that this is a very kind of positive outlook for the group, and really a nice sense of something that can be at least as far as the Walking Dead universe is concerned, can be unique and can be admirable. Of course, I mean, what could be more admirable than going out and helping others, right? Rather than just trying to survive yourself, you're actually going to the extent of trying to actually go and help other people. But of course, as we see here in the premiere, it's not easy. And, as also you might expect too, is that you're probably going to run into more evil type of people that are still alive at this point than good people. And they do kind of touch on it in a few of the comments in the episode that, as they're going out, they haven't had a whole lot of luck, as Morgan says. They go out, they try to find people they can help, and, most of them are dead, or they don't find anybody. In this case, they find the kids, who kind of ditch them afterwards, I guess out of fear, right? And not being sure that it's going to work and everything, and what they're scared of and everything, and the kind of the concept coming in, which we had sort of heard of a little bit, which is radioactive, possibly some radioactive zombies or something, which is kind of interesting, and they kind of come back to that at the end with Althea. And I really liked in the episode they have, they kind of leave you off after the premiere, a bunch of things going on, not just like one simple cliffhanger or something like that, but there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, right? You have the group that's headed out and they crash the plane, which I thought was exciting to start things off with. We meet Dylan and Max, and them kind of hunting for food and trying to shoot a deer, I think it was, right? And then you have all the walkers come in, the plane kind of comes down overhead, and so they're able to find some kids here, but not actually, the intended target of why they were going out there, right? They were actually going out there to meet this Logan person who, it sounds like, sold them a bill of goods that sent them out on a wild goose chase to just get them away from home, and then he could kind of go in and take all their stuff, because apparently that building is his, and he somehow maybe went back to visit it or something at some point here during the zombie apocalypse, and realized that people were actually staying in his building that he had purchased in regular life. So, but he probably knew that he couldn't take them down in a firefight. He probably would lose, so he decided to kind of take another approach and sort of play possum, play victim, and send them out on this wild goose chase, really to nowhere, just to get them out and away, so he could kind of come in on his own when no one was there. And of course, you have the group that stayed behind with Strand in that, where they actually had to kind of go out and try to find this, sent out as well to try to help the others to find a plane or transportation to be able to get to where the group is and help them and get them kind of out of there, because it seems they're in a dangerous type of territory with possibly some radioactive, I don't know if you have a failing nuclear power plant or something like this, or one that did fail, and so you possibly have some, radioactive zombies. This kind of thing has been done in Z Nation, but I feel like it's okay because Z Nation's over now, so Fear the Walking Dead, of course, is continuing on, so it's kind of cool, and even though we've seen some stuff like that in Z Nation, it's that's kind of a more silly sort of take on it, whereas this is a more realistic kind of take on things. And that is something that would happen without maintenance, without people to maintain, all the different nuclear power plants and things that we have. For example, they used a dam before where they blow up the dam, right? That's another thing, But with this one, too, that, as people are not maintaining stuff would break down. And if you have something like that break down, like a nuclear power plant or something, like an explosion or something like that, it could be, could be very, very, very dangerous. So we'll have to see what that's alluding to and what that's building up to. But I thought that they ended off the episode in a good way, because you have kind of the stuff with Althea's been tased by somebody who we don't know. And then, the group is, knows that she's kind of been cut out because she was communicating and then cut off and everything kind of here, and then it cuts off. So they know someone has kind of taken her. The kids are kind of out there somewhere on their own again, and Morgan kind of wants to find them and bring them in. At least it would make the trip worthwhile. And then you have Logan, who kind of has moved back in and, to their place and everything. And you have Charlie and Strand in the group there. And then we have the tape with Daniel Salazar at the end there too. And we've seen in the trailer that Strand does in fact go to see him, and then to try to get the airplane or something of the sort to try to get there to pick up the others. So a lot of different stuff going on here in the episode, and a lot of things happening to kind of finish it off. But it is an exciting episode. I thought it was it had a good look to it. You had a lot of dark and everything, nice filter and everything, like they usually do in Fear, a little bit dark in the original Walking Dead series in the way they kind of present it. You have at the beginning kind of the concept of them being heroes, so they kind of start things off with the kids, and they call them growlers, which I thought was funny. I don't know. The plane crashing and everything, and then you have Alicia, who just shows up in kind of heroic fashion with the others, and they're here to help, and they're gonna save them, and they're gonna save the zombie apocalypse world, but it's not going to be easy, right? So then we have Morgan, who's questioning about Logan and everything. So Louisiana gets badly injured in this one, and I actually like this one a lot with what they did here, because they sort of called for your advanced viewers who are kind of the type of people that enjoy the series and are actually thinking about, as we've done death predictions for the show many, many times. They sort of threw us kind of a curveball with Louisiana, and I'm really glad they did, because they kind of made it, the question has been, spoiler warning, ever since Nick died in season 4, ever since he's been killed off, the question is, what are they going to do with Louisiana? So what are they going to do with her now that he's gone? So he's dead, right? And because she was kind of a supporting character for him. So now we kind of get to see a situation where they sort of faked us out, because a lot of us thought they would probably kill her off sometime soon, and I thought they would kill her off almost in season 4. I thought they would kill her off, at some point in season 4, because Nick's gone. And in this one, they did it in such a way where they sort of mess with us a little bit. So for your advanced viewers who are thinking, okay, they're going to kill her off now because Nick was killed off before and she was a supporting person for Nick. The premiere is going through here, and it looks like she is going to die, and then she kind of gets saved in it. So they kind of did sort of a twist, a kind of a false twist for your people who thought, oh, well, they're going to kill her off for sure, right? And then you see it happen. It's like, oh, no, this is kind of a brutal sort of crash and everything, and she's got like a pole through her, so it's kind of brutal. But so you feel bad for her, and then they kind of bring her back, and they get June to save her and everything, and June proves her worth, and it's good, and it adds to the excitement and everything throughout. And I thought it was really good, and it would be cool to see her survive now. I just took down the Game of Thrones poster. It's on the ground now. Finally remembered to take it down, with Fear starting. But, I'm just personally and after the Walking Dead season 8's kind of finale there, I'm just kind of in a state right now where I'm just like, okay, can one of these shows just hold off on killing people for a while? I know that Walking Dead, if you're the Walking Dead, you have character deaths all the time. It's part of the game, right? It's part of the situation, but can we just hold off for a little while on killing everybody? Just for a little while. So I was really happy with this one, that they kind of make it look like they were going to kill off Lucy, and then they didn't. So that was cool. So I like that as things went through. So we got the crash. We have the bodies kind of everywhere. We have the tripwire, which is kind of cool. They set up the wire, and then all the walkers are kind of falling over it. You have Alicia with this piece of a plane or something that she's hitting them with. I don't know. That's funny. And then she gets her signature weapon back, because all of our A-list characters in the Walking Dead universe, they've got to have their signature weapon. Rick's got the Colt. Daryl's got the crossbow. Morgan's got the staff. And Alicia's got the, I don't know, end of that turret thing that she picked up in season 4, just wherever, and I guess grown accustomed to liking it. I don't know. So it's fun to see through. Always fun to see her kill walkers run around, her and Morgan too, and they're all falling over, and you just got this bot. I just thought about that Drowning Pool song, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor, because there's just like this massive pile of just walkers, just dead walkers everywhere. It's brutal. But it's kind of fun and it's exciting. They've got some tempo going. Episode directed by Michael E. Satrazemis, who's fantastic. He's done a lot of my favorite episodes of The Walking Dead too. So it's cool to see that they're actually giving him more to. He's been helping with Fear, I think, the last couple of years. They used him again here in a premiere for Fear because he's really good, and he's part of what made sort of like Greg Nicotero, one of the directors in The Walking Dead. I think is a standout where he's obviously really great. He uses sound really great a lot too, and they're taking some of the people that are talented for The Walking Dead and they're getting them to do some episodes of Fear more consistently now. So that's good because it helps Fear out. It allows Fear to have kind of better quality, and maybe if you kind of take away some of these people a little bit of their time away from the original series and you give them to Fear a little bit, it's still going to help bolster Fear and make Fear better, just like adding Morgan to it and adding Dwight, who we didn't get to see yet, but hopefully we'll see pretty soon this season. So I loved that they got him to do it, and he's awesome as per usual, and I enjoyed the episode all the way through. The action, everything was great. You guys know I love my action. It's true, I do. So you have Alicia kind of at the front that she's going to kind of lead the group through, and then you have the sister kind of pull in with the van and say, get in type of deal, right? So they do and everything. Then later on we find out about Logan. So Logan and his people need us, right? So the concept of helping others, and you get to see some fun environments here that look like something out of, I don't know, Resident Evil or something, where you have the walkers that are kind of through, like there's like ropes or whatever through them or whatever. And then you've got the heads that are just kind of hanging there. Someone has cut off zombie heads and put them on trees and stuff, on branches and stuff. It's pretty brutal, right? Keep out type of deal. So maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing because, as Al's finding out later, there could be some radioactive, waste or material or something there, whatever it's called, after stuff doesn't go right with a reactor or something, and causes a nuke explosion or whatever. However that goes down, I don't know. I'm not a nuclear physicist, So so better be worth it, right? And clearly it's not. Right, so then they help Lucy. They pull out the thing, and then she goes through that, and then she's able to survive, which is good. The truck stop. We get the part with Logan, who kind of, so he reveals kind of by the radio that he was just tricking them to get them away from there, so he could go in and take all their stuff and do what he wants and take his place back. Because he knew he couldn't do it via a firefight, so he did it kind of the tricky way. So I think that Logan is kind of a cool villain. He kind of comes across as somebody who's not very strong. And I find that the Fear villains in the last couple of years, that's kind of how they've seen the Vultures as well, where they kind of seem like they're villains, but they're not villains in the same way as like someone like the Governor is, even though the Governor can be tricky and can have some advanced strategies and Merle and that. And they can. You also get the sense they're very strong. I don't get the sense that Logan is a very strong villain. I get the sense he's kind of a wimpy type villain who has to be creative and he has to be maneuvering in order to defeat you, because he can't defeat you up front in a versus type situation. So he has to trick you, and he has to use trickery, and he has to use those things to kind of get by you, which is smart. But, he's kind of come across that for me. So I like him as a villain, only that I don't think he's one of these fearsome types of villains like Negan or like the Governor or something like that that'll be there for years. I don't anticipate he'll be a villain in the series for that long. Maybe just kind of a minor villain from what we've seen so far from him. But I thought it was interesting that he kind of used their kind-heartedness kind of against them, which unfortunately does happen in real life as well, too. You try to help other people, sometimes they take advantage, right? They ask for donations and stuff, and then, maybe you donate, and who knows what they do with it. Does all the money you donate really go to the people in need, or does it go to pay people's wages so they can kind of have this relaxed job where they get paid a certain amount? Maybe it's not that much, but they hardly do anything. One of these types of situations. So it's not that easy to help others, right? Even in real life, too, because there are people that take advantage of it, and that's what Logan does in this one. And so he's kind of that kind of villain for me in the way I see him. But he's interesting at least, and he's a different kind of villain, which is kind of cool. And I think of him right now as a minor villain. I'd be surprised if he's still in the show after the mid-season finale. But that's kind of the way I'm feeling about him right now. Question near the end of whether or not it's worth it helping people from Alicia. She's blowing off some steam, killing some walkers, and Morgan basically, says that it absolutely is. And even though it's hard, even though it's really, really hard, and you run into people like this, it's still worth it. It has to be. It's that's what it is to help others, and that's true. And I like that. And that's what makes Morgan. Where is he? Right there. One of my favorite characters in The Walking Dead. He's a really great character. He's a classic good guy type character, and Alicia's kind of got a little bit of that rage after Madison and everything, which is good to harness. Helps her, kill walkers and whatever else. But Morgan helps keep her kind of controlled so she doesn't veer off and kind of become more like Logan or one of these type of villain type characters. And then we see Daniel Salazar at the end too in the tapes and everything, so that's really fun. So I thought it was a loaded premiere. I enjoyed it as much as I could. Hope to see the kids again. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we'll see them pretty soon again. I think they'll join and everything, and that even just them getting a few kids there too and having them join the group and everything, it could be worth it down the road. If the kids survive long term, that could be the future for their group, right? So good stuff. So I'm gonna give the premiere a 9.4 out of 10. I thought it was an awesome premiere. I thought it was something that I could put, right on the same level as like the original Walking Dead series. Some of the original Walking Dead series episodes, feel a lot like this one. And I also like that, it's not so far in the future as the original Walking Dead series is. The original Walking Dead series is so far in the future now, you don't really see much in the way of guns. You don't really see much in the way of that type of thing working. Everyone's using hand-to-hand stuff. And even though we get to see a lot of that in Fear here, you get to see cars still, vehicles still. It's not all horseback. So Fear has kind of a unique feel right now in that Z Nation is over, so they can do the other stuff. Maybe they can add in a little bit of silliness, and that's okay, because there's nothing comparatively on. It's like that. It's not very similar to the original Walking Dead, because where they're at right now in the future is way further ahead to where all the cars and vehicles have broken down and everything, and they're just on horseback all the time. So it puts the Fear group and Fear as the Walking Dead as a whole in kind of an interesting situation with them giving some of their talented people from the original Walking Dead to Fear to help it out. I do feel like it's helped a lot, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have going forward this season with all these different build-ups and different kind of things happening, and kind of questions, a little bit of mystery involved there. Who done it for who tased Al and Strand and the others, and are they going to end up finding them and being able to go over with Daniel kind of coming back to the picture. So a very loaded premiere, lots of stuff, about all you could ask for, and probably about as good as they could do with Fear, I think. You got the action in there. You got some character moments for Luciana getting hurt and the others. You have Dan coming back. You got lots of build-up, lots of new stuff, a possible new antagonist here with Logan, and a lot of good stuff. So I enjoyed the premiere as much as I could, considering I'm sick and I still feel like crap. But I enjoyed it. So that's it for my premiere. I'm going to give it a 9.4 out of 10. Right up there for me on the same level as the original Walking Dead series right now, and enough unique stuff and enough of a unique feel that I could really heavily enjoy it, and it's really starting to enjoy a lot of these characters in Fear, like Althea, June, John, some of the others, starting to accept them more as like, full-on A-list type of characters, and not just sort of new add-ins. It's really starting to feel like they're, they found their place and they belong with Fear the Walking Dead. Okay, that's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, please thumb it up. You can share, you can favorite. Bottom left to subscribe, and I'll try to be back, I guess, for predictions video for I think it's going to happen in episode 2, and at least a few Q&As this week. But hope my voice will keep up. Anyway, that's it for this one. See you guys in the video. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.